Hello, Tinman here in a BAM. I've got a little FatBoy that came in from Mr. Adam. Let's cut here real quick, show you what it's about before we show you. All right. All right, so y'all saw the pictures of the little FatBoy. It came out a lot better. Still pretty banged up, pretty dented. Let's see here. Inside came out a lot better. I scrubbed it for quite a while. The bottom is really rough. So, I'm gonna go ahead and, he said I didn't have to, but I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this with some epoxy paint. That epoxy stuff is the stuff. It's an appliance epoxy paint. I've been using it for years, and people ask me, is it powder coat? But nope. All right, you see these, you'll see it back with a little 1x2. Just want to jump in here and see how this particular board in the heatsink, how the transistor screw holes have been kind of beveled out, nice and smooth. Well, this one has been beveled out and it's got lips, like a little tiny little lip right there. And then, I mean, it's, you know, this one right here is not even beveled out correctly, so it actually, if you look at the bottom of the transistors, you'll see how this one right here will not set flat. So now I'm going to have to somewhat plane the bottom of the transistors. Now, after discovery, we see that this particular heatsink was tried to use for multiple different things. So here's the original two holes. So they've punched the holes here, and they started here. They ran into an issue. So this heatsink has been compromised, especially for that lip right there. I mean, and this one right here. So we're gonna put your transistors on a new heatsink and board. Of course, you know your board is pretty rough. We could have cleaned it, but you know, at this point, it would have been more time, more labor than just doing the board. Then after we discovered the heatsink, we just do your new heatsink and board combo. So away trash it goes. All right, we'll be back. More updates. And there's the bottom of the transistors after I've cleaned the bottom. And I'll take all the solder off of them, clean the top of them, and away we go again. Sorry, boo-boo. The previous pictures and video beforehand accidentally got deleted. So throughout the video, you're going to hear me say, well, you'll see the videos beforehand and the pictures beforehand, but I'm sorry, unfortunately they got deleted. So this just so you're aware, that's where we stand at. I did swap out the larger 5/8 for a smaller transformer. I've got a couple of 1x2s I did with this particular brand of transformer. And it really actually seemed to make a little bit more power than the 5/8. So I went ahead and just swapped him out. I put a new 1 1/4 1/2 in there, and just a even swap. All right. So you saw a couple of before pictures. You saw some progress during the build. So here's the parts that we've replaced. You saw there's the original power wire. It's a pretty thick stuff, not quite as flexible. I put some 8 gauge OFC wire on it, and the case was really rough. And you seen after I even cleaned it that, you know, some of the clear coat was hazy, and you know it was it just didn't look too well. Now, I did go ahead and shoot it with some epoxy black paint to make it look somewhat better. You can still see some imperfections in the case, and I sanded on it for a while. But it does look a lot better. And we put some new SO239 silver Teflon. There's your serial number. And he said you don't use the remote jack, so we took it out. I gotta get all my fingerprints off of here. He did have a 5/8 core output, and he said he was getting, I can't remember how much he said. I know he said at one point he was getting like 200 bird, but the input was crispy, was his main reason for sending it to me. Yeah, I believe he said he had to run it wide open. So I've tested it without my tone injector, and you know, it seems to run quite well for me. So we'll go to the inside, and you see that I did put the 1/2-inch transformer on it. Put a nice 6800 microfarad cap in the back, and you know, made it look pretty nice. Alright, a lot better than it was. Let me fix some of my wiring over here for testing purposes. Alright, so put you a Tinman grill cover on it and a blue LED fan. Kind of match the theme there. Put your new knob, new variable. Nothing but the good Allen Bradley. Can't go wrong with the good Allen Bradley at all. Those things are some good stuff. Alright, so let's get on with a little bit of testing. We'll start out with the 99V, my Peak 99V. Let's see what our working voltage is. 14.3. Alright, so let's see here. 500 watt slug in average. No light, no light. 1000 watt in Peekaroo, 5 watt to dummy load. And we are on dummy load, and then a 5 watt between the amplifier and the 99V. Let's go ahead and start off here. See if I can give you all three. So we're looking about 300 bird and a little over 400 peak, and less than that's maybe 3/8 of a watt reflect, not even a half. Your input about an 1/8 to a quarter, and not too shabby. Now we'll go to the 99V that I call my splatter 99V. It's really not. It's fairly clean, to be honest with you. So we'll go to the Spectrum. We're at 27205, 50 kilohertz by division, which means that's your center frequency, and each one is 50 kilohertz. So still really good and clean. So now we're going to hop on over to this 99V, and this is a low wattage. It's, you know, not necessarily that it's been detuned. It's just it does about 8 to 9 bird and 23 to 20, maybe 25 peak tops. So, and you see where I've got the RF power sitting about 1.5 watts dead key. So almost 400 bird and 400 peak. Again, this is my average radio. Let's see here. I'll let you hear the tone, so you'll see that I am putting a tone into it. You know, a lot of guys don't care about the peak, and I can turn the peak off, you know, and look at two different meters, and both of them showing close to the same, almost 400 average. Now, I could be one of the odd guys and, you know, turn my mic gain down. No, it's wide open. I could be one of the guys and turn my RF power all the way up. Because with a tone, it don't matter. And if I turn it all the way up, it's just going to slam it. So, you know, hey, I'll turn it all the way down. Still 200 bird. And over 400 peak. And this right here is at 9 o'clock. So 350. Still good and clean. Reflect. That should reflect back to the. So it's good. 14.3. It turned out quite nice. I know Mr. Adam will be very happy. Alright guys, Tinman here in the BAM. I'm going to put some screws in it, put a warranty seal on it, and we'll see when he gets it. I think he may be coming up in a week or two. I don't know if we set the final date yet. I know he said he's going to pick it up. So, alright, you guys take care. Tinman in the BAM. Boom, boom.